Hey chess fans, welcome back to Chess Insights. We're going to show you the top 5 openings for black that'll give you the edge and crush your opponents. Let's explore. Here's an easy method using the classical Sicilian as a beginner-friendly line. Follow these steps and you'll have black set up solidly with attacking chances. I'll assume white plays common moves. Adjust if they don't. White claims. The center. You strike back with your c-pawn. White develops a knight, you defend c5 and prepare. nf6. White pushes the d-pawn. You trade to open the center. White recaptures, you attack e4 with your knight. White develops, you solidify your center. And prepare. b7, white develops a bishop. You do the same, eyeing kingside play. White castles. You castle kingside for safety. White pushes a pawn. You develop your knight, attacking d4. White develops. You play a6 to stop nb5 and prepare. b5. White moves the queen. You push b5. To attack the queen side, white slows your pawns. You develop your bishop aiming at e4. White lines up a rook. You bring your queen out, connecting rooks. This is a basic classical Sicilian line. Nothing fancy, just effective. Follow these steps, and you're ready to fight as black. Here's another easy method using the classical French with natural moves. I'll assume white plays common responses. Adjust if they vary. White takes the center. You prepare. d5 with a solid pawn. White pushes another pawn. You strike. Back attacking e4. White defends e4. You attack it again with your knight. White pushes the pawn. You retreat but keep pressure on e5. White supports e5. You challenge white's center with c5. White develops a knight. You add yours, hitting. d4, white develops a bishop. You trade pawns to open lines. White recaptures. You pin the knight with your bishop. White moves the queen. You castle kingside for safety. White castles queenside. You play a6 to stop nb5 and prep. b5. White starts a kingside push. You counter with b5 on the queen side. White aims at your king. You bring your queen out, ready to connect rooks. This is a straightforward classical French line, solid and easy to follow. Stick to this plan and you'll hold strong as black. The Caro-Kann Defense is black's solid and straightforward response. Unlike the Sicilian, it's less aggressive but very reliable, often leading to endgames where black has equal or better chances. White claims the center. You prepared a d5 with a solid pawn. White pushes another pawn. You challenge e4 directly. White develops a knight. You capture to open the center. White recaptures. You develop your bishop, pinning the knight. White retreats. You keep your bishop active. White pushes a pawn. You play h6 to secure your bishop. White develops a knight. You bring out yours, preparing. Knight f6. White pushes again. You retreat the bishop, keeping it safe. White develops. You trade bishops to simplify. White recaptures. You play e6 to solidify and prep. Knight f6, white castles. You develop your last knight, eyeing e4. White pushes a pawn. You develop your bishop, ready to castle. This classical Caro-Kann is easy to learn and hard for white to crack. Follow this plan and you'll be rock solid as black. Here's an easy method using the classical King's Indian, a straightforward line for beginners. Instead of fighting for the center early, black fianchettos the bishop, castles, and prepares a kingside attack. It's perfect for tactical players who want to counterattack dynamically. White opens with d4. You develop your knight, eyeing e4. White pushes c4. You prepare to fianchetto your bishop. White develops a knight. You place your bishop on the long diagonal. White claims the center. You support. Knight f6 and prepare. e5. White develops. You castle kingside for safety. White develops a bishop. You strike at the center with e5. White castles. You develop your knight, pressuring d4. White pushes d5. You reposition your knight, eyeing f5. White repositions. You prepare f5 with your other knight. White supports e4. You launch your kingside attack with f5. White develops. You push f4, locking the kingside for attack. White repositions. You roll Chori g5. aiming for a pawn storm. This classical King's Indian is aggressive yet manageable for beginners. It's less solid than the Caro-Kann but offers huge counter-attacking potential. Follow this plan and you'll attack like a pro as black. The Slav Defense is a solid and respected response. Here's an easy method using the classical Slav, a straightforward line for beginners. Unlike the King's Indian, it's not overly aggressive, but offers a sturdy setup with chances to counter-attack. It's ideal for players who want a reliable pro-level opening that's easy to learn. White opens with d4, you claim the center with d5. White attacks d5, you support it with c6, keeping things solid. White develops a knight, you mirror. Attacking e4, white develops another knight. You play 6 to solidify d5. White supports d4, you develop your knight preparing. Bishop d6, white develops a bishop. You place yours actively, eyeing h2, white castles. You castle kingside for safety. White pushes e4. You capture to open the center. White recaptures. You trade knights to simplify. White recaptures. You strike at d4 with 5, breaking the center. White trades. You recapture, keeping your bishop active. White moves the queen. You connect rooks. Aiming for me, 6 or e5. This classical Slav is simple and professional, perfect for beginners. Follow this plan and you'll play like a pro as black. Thanks for watching. Try these openings, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more chess tips.